looking at me like that? Bro, what? What? What are you doing? Today I'm going to be reviewing my 2002 Ford Explorer Sport 4x4. And it's all stock right now, so it's pretty basic. And there's some minor issues, but I got it for a really good deal. It's just my daily. So. Here's the front. There was a black cover here. I hate those things. Not only are they ugly, but it kind of ruins the paint, and then eventually you let too much dirt get in there, it will rot, so I took that off. Got fog lights at the factory, and heat control hooks. Pretty much it for that part. While we're at the front, I guess I could show you what's under the hood. Alright, so for the engine, it's got the old 4-liter Cologne V6. Even though this is a 2002, because it's a sport, they just reuse whatever they had left over, I think, from the second generation Explorer. Because the third gen, if you didn't already know, came out in 2002. So it's the single overhead cam. It's all stock. I thought about doing a cold air intake, but then I started driving manual, and I'm like, you know what, let me not waste money on this car. Just keep it as a daily. Get something cool with a stick. So right over here is where I tried to recharge the AC. Didn't work. That's one of the minor issues I was telling you guys about before. I haven't seen any leaks or any major rust, you know, on the frame or anything. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on these trucks about reliability, but it's been fine for me, although I've only driven it maybe 600 miles. So, I mean, I guess only time will tell. But, I do love that it's got these hydraulic struts and not a prop rod. It just makes everything so much easier. Because sometimes it gets in the way or just doesn't look good. I don't know what's up with that corrosion. I'm gonna have to look into that. There's supposed to be a cover on it, which is in the back somewhere. And that's really it for under the hood. Moving to the passenger side. Got some dents and a little bit of body rust, but you know, again, at the price I got it for, I'm not too worried about it. It doesn't affect drivability. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, the rear is squatting and the leaf springs are shot, which I do plan on replacing, but for now, just going back and forth to work, it works. So, I'm not sure what happened here, some sort of scrape. It's minor. I love how I have these little vent windows in the back here. For wheels and tires. Got a 16-inch wheel. The tires 245 70R16. So, you know, typical stock truck setup. I plan on going a little bit wider and taller, but I don't know now because I'm really trying to save money for something a little cooler with stick. And anyway, I don't really know where to go off-roading around here. We do have folding mirrors, only by hand. I like that we've got some roof racks that might come in handy someday. Pretty basic, I mean, think about it, it's from the 90s, you know, there weren't too much to these things. And honestly, I like it that way. Alright, the rear. See, I know I have some dents that you can see from this. You can probably see it, but yep, there's 1, 2, nothing major. 3. I feel like you don't get this a whole lot anymore. I like that. This is supposedly rated for 3,000 pounds. I would not trust that. I mean, it's just a plastic bumper. I mean, I don't know. I guess it does attach to the frame, but it's a little rusty. I don't know if this has the power to pull 3,000 pounds anyway. It's got like 200 horsepower. And then inside is very roomy because I folded down my rear seats because I don't really carry people that much. Excuse the mess, but I mean, it just goes to prove how much room you really got in this thing. I mean, it's quite a bit. Flat tire. You'll notice when I get to the other side, I had to use the spare, and that's why this thing is hanging here. Of course, you've got your I can't tell what you can see. Oh, right here is the pins for if you're towing a trailer. Again, I do not plan on doing that. I have no reason to, and anyway, I don't trust the bumper mount. Only mod I did was these stickers, or at least on the outside. Just wait till I get into the interior. So if you're not already following me on TikTok, if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, or following me on Instagram, why are you here? Just kidding. One thing I did notice about this when I try to clean the window, this doesn't squirt. I don't know what that's about. And that's that. Alright, driver's side. Starting to rust a little here, scratches. Okay, you'll get a laugh out of this gas cap. It won't stay shut, and I would always get those people who stop me in the middle of traffic and tell me this is flying open. For some reason, the lady I bought this from left me this Velcro, so I use it for this. And so far, so good. We do have some rust under these plastic panels here. They're just kind of dipping in there. They fall off. I don't know what I'm going to do. No big deal. I never tried this yet, but it's got famous, type in your door code, unlock the door. I don't even remember the code. And anyway, I don't know if it worked because the driver's side is not lock and unlock electronically. Spare that came with the truck. It's a little bit beefier. I kind of like it. If I can get a set of those to replace these ones, which I got to do soon, that would be nice. Alright, I guess now we can move on to the interior. Alright, well, like I said, only way to unlock the driver's side is with my key. And speaking of that, if you're interested in this is the key and the fob. That's locked, that's unlocked. I know it's kind of faded because it's as old as me. And panic button. Alright. Guess we could start her right up. And she does start right up. Alright guys, this is the next day because it's so hot out where I live. My phone overheated and restarted. And so as I was saying about music, I just wanted a whole new radio that I could somehow integrate my phone into without buying a windshield mount that gets in your way. And so I got the Pioneer SPH10BT. I did an unboxing video, an installation video in my old car, and a review of how it all works on my channel. So be sure to check those out. Bluetooth transmitters, I think that's what I was saying. They get staticky. I don't really like them that much. And it's not like I could have just got something to plug into the aux for the old radio, because all I had was a cassette, I think, and a CD player, and AM FM, which I cannot stand. What else do we got? So we've got power windows. The driver's side is automatic for down. Leather seats. They're very comfortable. And for the driver's seat, you could recline it with this lever down here. And then to move it back and forth, for the driver's side, it is powered. So forward, backwards, and then the rear of the seat go up and down with that side, and then the front of the seat up and down with that side. Not sure what this thing does. Oh, I kind of feel it in my back a little bit. It's doing something. Power locks, power adjustable mirrors, which still do work. It's got only 126,000 miles. Up here, that's how much I've driven since I bought the car. It is 4-wheel drive, so you just flip the switch for high. You can do that at any time. And then if you want to go into 4 low, you gotta, foot on the brake to put it into neutral. And then you can put it in low. There you go. Transmission, doesn't slip or anything. Motor's strong, gets up to speed relatively quick for a 3,900 pound truck from the 90s. climate controls down here, just some knobs. Air conditioning does not work, even though I did try to recharge it. I think I've got a leak. Heat works. Let's see. I'm gonna try and wash that window in the back. See, it doesn't squirt the fluid, but it's okay. And then I do have fog lights. That took me forever to figure out how to use, but I noticed you have to have your headlights turned on in order for this switch to work. There's a green LED that you can barely see in the daylight here. But with this switch off, they don't do anything. This OBD2 reader is my last video if you want a review of that. So very well spent $60. My fuel gauge, sometimes I think it's very off because, like, I have a 16 point something gallon tank, and when I always fill up at a quarter tank, and I get like 9 gallons out of it. If my math is correct, shouldn't I be getting 12? 120 miles speedometer, which I'll never even try to go anywhere near that. At like 70 on the highway, I'll get a little bit of death wobble. Nothing too major. Next portion of the video, I think, will be a review of, you know, how it drives. I don't know how to use this auto lamp feature. I think it has to do with dimming at night, but either way I slide it, I don't see a difference. There's supposed to be some sort of information up here, like temperature and whatnot, and gas mileage, I think, but that doesn't work. Lamps are dim. When they go out, I'll probably replace them with some LEDs. I don't know if I mentioned I have power sunroof as well. And then you could just vent it like that if you want. I almost always have it open, at least during the summer, because again, no air conditioning. And then today I put up the rear seats after I got my regular tire out of the back and put it back on the other side there, because where I work, they fixed that for me. I've had one passenger back here. I mean, she wasn't very tall or anything, but she seems pretty comfortable. And I mean, there's plenty of adjustability on the passenger seat, but it's not power operated like the driver's seat. Power locks. If you notice, like I said before, does not do anything on the driver's side, not even with the door code. I tried that too. Glove box is kind of small. Oh yeah, cruise control. That's come in handy quite a few times, and it works perfectly fine. I love it. That's really it. I mean, it's pretty basic. Gets the job done though. It's kind of just how I like it. As long as it's still comfortable and not terribly broken. And so far, so good. Alright guys, I'm back after a week, finally finishing this video. So I'm going to be doing the driving impressions now on my way home from work. So, a lot of play in the steering. I mean, old truck, what do you expect? Plenty of power from the V6. You probably hear it a little too much. Let me shut a window. I love these power windows. My old car didn't have that. Let's see. It's pretty soft, the ride quality, until you hit bumps. Then you feel the rear want to go side to side. Braking's pretty good. Although if I slam on it, I get a lot of front end lift. These leather seats are so comfortable. I'm looking at my gauges here on the OBD2 reader, and temps are good. 167 for the coolant, 84 for the intake. So much visibility. One thing that does surprise me about this is the good turning radius. Like, I'm surprised by how tight it is, you know? Like, sometimes I think I'm gonna hit something and then I just don't. I'm about to ruin that though with somewhat of a lift kit. Let's see, we can go this way through some twisties. I just did hit a bump and felt the rear sway a little bit. So, you gotta be careful on bumps. I don't take this thing over 60 miles an hour because then I start feeling vibration and some shaking. I'm just on some twisty back roads right now. And I tend to, you know, take the curves down to like 30 miles an hour, 25, mostly because I'm inexperienced in driving, especially rear wheel drive. See, I'm taking it pretty slow here. It's hard to tell on camera though. My lights are automatically on. Actually, let me turn this switch so I can use my fog lights because it's kind of wet out and stuff. It's sort of rainy today. But she gets up and goes pretty quick. Well, to normal road speeds. 0 to 60 and eventually. That much I can confirm. So, I think my next video will be me fixing the rear suspension, because I did just spend $400 on a new leaf spring kit. But for shackles, I'm going to do longer ones that supposedly should give me about 4 inches of lift. And then I'm hoping that can get me into somewhere between 31 and 33 inch tires. And then a 15 or 16 inch wheel. The lights are not very bright. I always have my hazards on and no one's flashed me for it being too bright. Maybe someday I'll do an LED conversion. One of my other complaints is how small these mirrors are. Like, I can see plenty through them, but compared to how big the rest of the truck is, especially now that I'm about to lift it and give it a wider stance. It just looks goofy. And I've seen an Explorer Sport Track with F1 or the first generation of Super Duty tow mirrors, and that looks goofy. Maybe a little less play in the steering wheel than I thought, but the whole ride is generally soft, like I said. Not much to it. I mean, it wasn't made to speed or anything. So I don't know what else to talk about in this portion of the video. So yeah, stay tuned for all the cool stuff I got planned for this truck. Like and subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.